The Ukip leader predicted a political earthquake, but he didn't realise it would be his own party conference that would be shaken apart. The MEP, Godfrey Bloom, has lost the party whip and faces a disciplinary inquiry after first calling a room full of female delegates sluts and then whacking our political correspondent Michael Crick over the head, all of which totally overshadowed Nigel Farage's big speech. Michael has the story.
After his remarks this summer about bongo land, perhaps Godfrey Bloom was bound to put his foot in it, or several feet. This lunchtime, he invited journalists to a champagne reception on women in politics, of all things. And when ribbed about his comment 9 years ago that women should clean behind the fridge, he said something to the effect that the room was full of sluts. Outside, he was asked to explain.
I think all the girls said, no, none of us clean behind the fridge.
I must say I do.
Do you?
Oh, really?
And I made a joke and said, oh, well, you're all sluts. And everybody laughed, including all the women. I don't know what we're trying to go with this. What are you trying to make of this?
Do you think that's acceptable?
I think people don't understand the difference between the word slut and slag. Maybe it's something to do with the lack of grammar skills in our education.
Oh, right, it could be. What do
But you think that's acceptable to say the room is full of sluts?
Do you know what the word slut actually means?
Well, I think that most people would find
do you know what the word slut actually means?
derogatory.
I think you're confusing
Well, what does it mean?
sluts
What
with
does it mean
slag.
to you, Mr. Godfrey?
Was there a single woman in there that didn't laugh at the joke, you sad little man?
Then I raised the cover of the Ukip conference brochure, which has more than 260 faces on the front, but none seem to be black. What do you make of the front cover of this, the conference brochure with no black faces on it?
After you interviewed.
What a racist comment is that? How dare you? That's an appalling thing to say. You're picking people out for the colour of their skin. You disgust me. Get out of my way.
Well, but I mean, I'm making the point that you haven't got... What's appalling about making that point?
You, sir, are a racist.
Why am I a racist for saying there aren't any black people?
And you've checked out the colour of people's faces. Disgraceful. You're disgraceful.
Well, what's... Not only is Bloom a close friend of Nigel Farage, but last year he was UKIP's candidate for Police and Crime Commissioner on Humberside and almost got elected. Earlier, when I bumped into Nigel Farage and raised the same issue, he seemed unusually quiet. Why aren't there any black faces of all these faces on the front? Upset, it seems, by last night's Channel 4 News report about teachers who complained he was racist and fascist while at school 32 years ago. But politics is a rough, tough old game, he warned them. They should expect difficult treatment from their opponents.
They've decided not to go for the bull, but to go for the player. And I'm afraid we will be subject to a whole series of smears running up to next year's elections and the elections beyond. And I also know that whilst that's tough for the individuals, in some ways it's even tougher for the wives, husbands, children and broader family.
He also signalled UKIP's plans to make much in next May's Euro elections of the unknown numbers of Romanians and Bulgarians who choose to come and live in the UK from January.
There have been an astounding 28,000 arrests in the Metropolitan Police area of Romanians in the last 5 years alone. 92% of ATM crime in the capital is already being committed by Romanian gangs. And this surely gets to the heart of the kind of immigration policy that we want to run. We should not be opening our doors on January the 1st to Romanian criminal gangs. We need to get back the power to deport those who come here and commit offences. And Mr Cameron, Mr Clegg, Mr Miliband, are you listening? Because we demand action.
It wasn't his best speech, though they loved it, of course.
You're a bit shiny.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
So what was new in that, Mr Farage? We'd heard it all before, hadn't we?
Very good.
It's very good. You're saying your speech was very good? Or...
I wasn't talking to you.
What was new in the speech? What had
Right, Phil, we're talking to you.
OK. Later, I tried again.
Absolutely no desire to speak to you. All right?
Why is that?
Because I think you're beneath contempt in the way you operate, and that's my view.
Beneath contempt? What have I done that's beneath contempt? Suddenly gone was the relaxed, affable, jovial Farage we all know. And Godfrey Bloom's interventions, half an hour later, can only have made things worse. Around 5:30, it was announced that Bloom had been deprived the Ukip whip in the European Parliament. And we had the extraordinary statement from the party leader that his old drinking chum had wrecked his party's conference.
There is no media coverage of this conference. It's gone. It's dead. It's all about Godfrey hitting a journalist and using an unpleasant four-letter word. It's gone. And we can't put up with it. And I said to you earlier, we cannot have any one individual, however fun or flamboyant or entertaining or amusing they are, we cannot have any one individual destroying UKIP's national conference, and that is what he's done today, and I'm sad about that, but we can't tolerate it, and we have to act, and Steve has done the right thing.
You're racist, and that's a racist remark.
What an astonishing 24 hours. Michael Crick, Channel 4 News, Westminster.